Hello everyone, welcome back to JDCodebase. This is the web development series. Today we are learning something very important, that is the environment variable and error handling and error boundaries also. So these three things makes your app professional and production ready. So don't skip this topic. This is very important for the real world project. Now, what are the environment variables? So in a very simple way, if I say environment variables are special variables and where we store configuration values like API URL, secret keys, app name or port number. So should we write API URL directly inside our code by just by using the fetch API means directly URL? No, because tomorrow if API changes, we must change it everywhere. That is not professional. Like in a e-commerce app, you have many things like user data fetch API, use products API fetch, cart API fetch. Means many times you have the URL. You are using URL in fetching. For that, you do not need to hard code it. If you use hard coded URL, every time means in every component you have to change everywhere. So, but instead of that, you can use just write in environment variables. So now, why we need environment variables? Yes, API URL is hard coded without environment variable. I already tell you right now, and hard to change for productions and security risks also for this. So with environment variables, easy to change, cleaner code and safer because we are not exposing our backend URL or any secret key. So in real companies, they never hard code any sensitive value. And so let's move to the VS Code and make the .env file. So in the root folder you have to make the app.env file where you're in the level of package.json. So .env and remember, never add into the src file, src folder or a public folder. Use only the root folder. Now inside this, right, always use the capital letters, capital alphabets. So Vite underscore API URL and never give the space here, just use this and here URL is the this is a fake API, means JSON hold placeholder.typocode.com, and you can get the any user data, to-dos, photos, album comments. I am using this URL and I get this data here. Now inside this, use here and also wait, not URL, use the name. Let's say I'm giving the JDCodebase. So in the Vite, React with the Vite means when we start, I will tell you there are two ways to install the project, either by using the normal React or by using the Vite React. And normal React is outdated right now, but and Vite React is the we are using currently in 2026. So when we use the Vite, so we have to apply, we have to write here Vite VITE underscore, means always start your .env variable with the this four alphabets VITE underscore. And where this is a very common beginner mistake, they forget to write the Vite these four alphabet, because Vite only expose the variable that start with the Vite to front end. This is for the security reason. Now let's see use this inside our React code, this URL and this name. Let's open the app.jsx file, and here you can just import const API URL equal to Vite, oh sorry, here import dot meta dot env and here Vite underscore API underscore URL. Now let's console this API URL. So let's see here, open the browser console. In the console tab, I get the URL here. If you do not see, just make sure you can stop the server and by press the Control C and run again npm run dev, and you can see again this this URL here, this env.env variable here. Because whenever you create or update the .env file, you must restart the server almost every time. But sometimes it automatically detects the changes, but sometimes it does not. So that's why you have to restart the server every time. Now this is the how we use the .env variables and how we declared into the React projects. You can also use the same this one, name API name. Also here, just remove this name and write here not API name. Let's see here. See, JDCodebase come. So this is how we use this. Now let's see the important for the always start with the Vite underscore all the, and always use the capital letters. Don't use any camel case or lower case. Always use the capital letters. And how to use or restart the server, I will tell you. Now let's come to the errors. Do apps always work perfectly? No. Where error happens, error are the problems that break this application. Types of errors are like syntax error, runtime error, network error, logical error. So syntax error means wrong code, you write something wrong. Runtime error means happens while running. Network error, if API fetch API failed, means the backend is down or backend server is not running. Logical error means wrong logic you apply, means divide by 0 or 0 divided by 1, anything. So today we focus on the async error. So now what is async error? Async error happens when API fails or server is down, internet not working, or wrong URL. Like you try to fetch the API. This one is wrong. API means backend URL is wrong. There is no URL exist in the internet. So this will fail. If we do not handle it, app may be crash. Now how to handle async error? So let's move to the VS Code. Inside this, let's write a function const fetch users, a async function, arrow function basically. So every time we know how to means when we are fetching the data or we use a async, we make it in asynchronous code by using the .promise .then .fetch or async await. Now first one is the use the try catch block every time. Inside this error catch block, write console.error. Here write something went wrong, and here write error dot message, and inside the try block just use this const response is equal to use the await here for the asynchronous task, and fetch the by just using this API URL. Here API URL comes from the import.env file. You can directly use it inside this import.meta.env or use directly here API URL. And if response.ok not okay, and means if it is not okay, then throw new error, and here error is failed to fetch data, right? And if everything okay, then just write const data is equal to await response dot, sorry, I forgot to add the column, response dot data, oh sorry, await response dot, make it JSON, and also console this data. So how to fetch it? Just by using this, you can call it by in the use effect a callback function, fetch users and a dependency array, blank array. So let's see. If you see, I get the data here. So here what we are doing is the, let me close this. So here now try block is for the risky code. Whenever we know there is the risk of the errors come, so we write into the try block, and in the catch block if any error happens it comes here. So we also check if response dot okay is not means false. So this is very important. Many beginners forget this this condition, if response dot okay. And even if server returns 404, fetch does not automatically throw error. 404 means API URL not found, backend servers not running. So we manually throw error. This is very important concept basically. Like here, if I break the URL, let's see what happened. So I get the something went wrong, failed to fetch data, right? So this is how this is comes from the catch block. Let me, now I again correct the code, I get the data here. So in this user cannot see console every time, right? For that we need to show the error here inside the UI. So for that just use the, let me show you, const error set error is equal to use state is the null, and when any error happens then set the error here, just error dot message, and if error comes, error, and then show the paragraph tag, this error. So let me show you, the API runs perfectly, I am getting the data here. If I break the URL, then I get the failed to fetch the data. So this is how we show the message. If any error exists, it show the message. Now app feels the professional way. Now let's see the this is a checking response status. Yeah, I already tell you about this. Fetch data, if response dot okay not okay, then throw the error, else console the data and console the error message in the catch block. And showing the error in the UI, already I show you how to use it. Just initialize the setting state of the error if any, and set the error in the catch block and show in the UI part in the JSX. Now what are error boundaries? Now we learn one advanced topic, that is the advanced concept, that is the error boundaries. Error boundaries are the special React component. They catch the JavaScript error in the child component, means they prevent the whole app from the crashing, and very important in the big application like now when do they work, means they catch the errors during the rendering, in the lifecycle method, in the child component, but they do not catch any event handler or async error like URL break or something, or server errors. So let's see the error boundary code. I already write here inside this. So this is the error boundary code. Every means production level app or the main big apps has this error this code. So here if you see, this class error boundary extend the react.component. So this is a class component in the React. So in React there are two ways to create component. I will tell you that one is the function component, second one is the class component. But totally today in the 2026 era we use mostly the function component, right? And we do not use any class component, but for error boundaries can only be created using the class component. There is no another way to write the class component until or unless we use external library npm package for that. Now what extend react.component means here? React.component is the parent. If you learn just 10% of the inheritance, you must know in the classes we extend the parent class by using the extend keyword. So here we are doing the same. We extend the React component, and error boundary is a special React component that gets all the power from the React component. And like inheritance in the JavaScript, I already told you, it gives us the state lifecycle method rendering ability from the React component. Now let's understand this constructor. So constructor runs first. Whenever any class run or class come, they constructor run the first, and we initialize the state here. The state is this dot state has error false. So first we call the super props, means call the parent react.component constructor. This super refer to the react.component or to the parent. So without super it will not work anymore. So we are creating the state here that has the error false, and meaning by default there is no error in the application. Now next one is the static get derived state form error, and return the has error true. Means this is a special lifecycle method. Like if you know in the React component, in the React we have in the classes we have some lifecycle method, component did mount, component unmount, this type of lifecycle method, component render. So it React calls automatically calls this when a child component crash during the rendering. Means we cover this error boundary as a parent, and the that component come inside this, like here. Let me show you this error boundary and a buggy. Where is this? What happened is why not component. So this is an error boundary, and we cover this bug component inside this error boundary component. So this is how we use. So we change the state here if error, if this bug component comes create any nuisance or any break. So we come here, and this error boundary handle this part, and its state it convert the has error to true. So React re-render this component. Now instead of children we show this callback, this class error boundary. Means if any error comes here inside this component, then this error boundary start running, means start working and show their own UI. Now inside this we also use the component did catch error, means console the error in the browser console for the reference. And here in the render, if state this dot state has error, means it is true, then return this code, this JSX part to the UI for like something went wrong in this section, please try again later, and color is the right. So this is a normal render method in the class component. If any error happens, show the error UI. If no error, show the children component. This dot prop dot children means this buggy component, means any component inside this error boundary. And here, let's see here. Let me import it first. Is it here or not? Buggy component, and it comes from here. Now let's see here. Let me inside this, let me make it true. So wait, I get the username, means it is perfectly fine, means a buggy component. Here I am just showing the h3 heading username and user.name, but it is true, so I am getting no error basically. But if I make it null, then this component get break here, and I get the something went wrong in this section. Why? Because I cover this inside this error boundary component. If I do not cover inside this error boundary, then I get the blank page here, means I get the uncatch type error, cannot read the properties of null, reading name and reading dot name, because user is null. So that's why using the error boundary is the perfect way to handle the errors in the React components in the React. Now, why we cannot use the function component here? Because error boundaries depend on the special lifecycle method like render or component errors. This get derived straight from error, and these only exist in the class component. And because in the class component we are exporting this from the React.component from the parent, and the function component do not support them directly right now. That is why we use the class here. And imagine error boundary is a security guard in a office, in a room. If child component break any rule, throw the error. As security guard stop the problem instantly and show the fallback message, log the issue. Without security guard, whole building can be shut down or any get fired. Now, one more important thing here is this is a normal JavaScript class, not something special to the React. Basic structure like class, class name, and a constructor. Every class has a constructor, and then method 1, method 2, and render in the class component. So React just give it a special power when we extend React.component. Now let's quickly summarize what we learned today. Component mistake, yes, common mistake. Every beginners forget about this wait underscore prefix and not restarting the server if when they change the .env variable, or not checking the response.ok, or showing on the console errors, not showing into the UI. So let's summarize. We see what is the environment variable, how to use .env, async errors, show UR errors in the UI, error boundaries we see in the class component. So this is the how now our React app is not just working, it is professionally working. It is a production ready. We are able to handle errors. We are able to handle the case sensitive or sensitive information and all these. So this is for today's video. If you like the video, subscribe to JDCodebase, and share it with your friends. Thank you for so much for watching. See you in the next video.